There are three questions that I'm going to serve you at this time. One question is, how far have you gone with the 2021 MOU signed between your government and Ogun State government on seamless joint development? That question was by Olalere, Nigeria Express newspaper. There is another question from Mustafa, Kamal Mustafa from Jordan FM, and he's asking, why is there no street light anymore in Lagos? That's a tad exaggerated. But he's saying, when will you start something like Light Up Lagos project? So the third one came from our people in Oronshoki, and it says, about 7 years ago, the Lagos government embarked on an ambitious plan to transform the Oronshoki waterfront into one of the biggest water transportation terminals, tourism and entertainment hubs in Nigeria. The project has since been abandoned, and the abandoned project has had a tremendous negative impact on the well-being and properties of people living in the Okokol area of Bariga LCDA. The Sandfield waterfront is higher than the existing layout of the area, thereby causing excessive flooding of residential areas whenever it rains. And the mentioned areas greatly affected are Olabode Aluko Street, Francis Olatunji Street, Gerard Ayame Street, and Adebari Street, all in the Oronshoki area.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for those questions. I mean, I think this is really what I want to get to achieve, an opportunity for our citizens to freely be able to, express themselves, engage us, know what we're doing, and we, in similar mind, also tell them what our challenges are, where we are, and how can we jointly, solve our common challenges and issues in Lagos. The first question, I imagine, was around MOU with Ogun State. So in terms of physical implementation, you might not see it, but operationally it's working. And what do I mean? We have that unwritten engagement between ourselves. We've seen collaboration between ourselves and Ogun State in terms of emergency response. We've seen engagement between ourselves in terms of, traffic management, fiscal planning approvals, land acquisition. A lot of the time, we move in and out of our both jurisdiction, especially Lagos, moving into Ogun State jurisdiction to be able to get permission, solve some problems, and pull back. And a few times too, they've called on us, and we've responded, almost, immediately. But outside of that, His Excellency, my brother Dapo and I, also, engage ourselves further on the Ota, Lagos-Ota corridor, for example. We're jointly looking at it, to see how we can, finish up, that development. Is a federal government role, but we're jointly looking at it. Last week, I just got a letter from him. I told you about the red line, that the red line got into Agbado. Agbado is Ogun State. He just sent me another letter to say that how can we further strengthen it and push it to, he mentioned the proper land. He mentioned the name of the place, but our commissioners of transport have started engagement, in that line. I also mentioned, the rice. We have 500 hectares of land in Ogun State, to cultivate it. So it might not appear as if, you are seeing anything, but right underneath, we understand, we appreciate that we have to collaborate. I have no other neighbor outside of Atlantic Ocean. It's only Ogun State. So I have to continue to go back to them to ensure. In fact, the three of us, we also said, Ogun, Oyo, and ourselves, how do we ensure that we have full power on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road? Full, all lit up. We're looking at the proposal to be able to, do that and ensure that the whole place, is all is lit up and people can move, 24/7 without any. So all of that is happening, and it might not appear as if we're coming out to cut the tape, but we're working. We have letters that I'm doing water project in Adiyon too. I needed to get like a 8-kilometer right of way into Ogun State. We got it. We paid compensation. We've almost finished that, the laying of those pipes. You know, so we don't have a choice. We have assets that are inside Ogun State that we'll continue to keep, and we see that synergy working. But maybe
there are projects that you can jointly fund, because a lot of your staff are resident in Ogun.
And I write them a check every month. on a layer. Well, I mean, we're talking. You know, we're actually talking, and like I said, the real project are some of the ones that we can jointly do. The Lagos Ijebu-Ode, you know, Epe road as well is another one. We did our road up to the border of Ogun State, and because it was a beautiful, I mean, to our carry to, the governor also took up the challenge and was able to also further extend it. He put a toll plaza. We said we're going to both share the revenue of the toll plaza, you know, and so those are some of the things that we continue to engage ourselves in. There are farmlands that we have inside of their state that we're, you know, jointly developing. And it takes me to the question around, you know, light up. You know, I just talked about we also lighting up, you know, the full expressway.